The silence just snapped in Lake Forest. There's a real lever on the table clean for the cap, loud on the field, and built to tilt November. Not clickbait, not wish casting. A move that would force defensive coordinators to redraw their Monday boards and make a rookie quarterback's life feel one read lighter. Windows narrow. Stakes are real. If Chicago pulls it, Sundays change. Here's my promise before any name drops. We're going to map timing, costs, rotation, and risk. We'll talk about why the moment matters now, what a responsible package looks like, and how roles will be scripted from the first practice period. No fairy tales, no tantrums, just football logic told straight. You're watching Bears News Fan Report. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and punch that bell. It's free. It grows this community, and it keeps you inside the window while everyone else waits for official. All right, let's go. Identity first. When the Bears are on schedule, this offense looks grown. Run sets the table. The QB gets answers he can trust, and explosives arrive because the box is stressed. The current backfield does honest work. But committees hit ceilings in hard places, short yardage, 4-minute, and red zone when the field shrinks. That's where one elite trait flips the math. Either you break tackles that shouldn't break, or you hit angles most humans can't survive. Deadline dynamics next. In this league, perfect is the enemy of timely. Weather creeps in, bodies wear down, divisional tape gets familiar. Contenders add one thing that compresses variance. Pretenders wait for a permission slip. Chicago can choose which one it wants to be right now by buying a very specific edge speed that doesn't just threaten, but lands. Money matters. A real move protects 2026 and keeps 2025 premium picks in-house. You're searching for a player on a team-friendly deal whose age arcs with your core, who doesn't require a restructure on day one, and whose next contract conversation you control with leverage. Extend if it sings. Tag and talk if it's complicated. Comp pick math if it isn't forever. That's grown-up front office ball. Scheme fit matters more. The profile is a one-cut rocket who presses outside zone to the landmark, plants, and detonates up the seam before backside pursuit can count to 2. In gap concepts, he's patient enough to let the puller clear, and then he's gone. In the pass game, he's not a decoy, he's a problem. Angle routes, wheels, screens that turn safe calls into explosives. Linebackers hesitate. Safeties widen. Windows open. And the room? This cannot be a crown-wearing entrance. It has to be a pro who competes without drama, accepts defined roles, and spikes the temperature of practice without fogging the culture. Day one clarity. Opener, change-up, closer. Snaps earned, not promised. Ego stays in the trunk. That's how you add star juice without cracking chemistry. One more piece before we turn the card. Sellers have their own calendars. Some teams hoard talent for January. Others take calls if the package respects value and the depth chart says they can live with it. You don't insult them. You offer structure. You let conditions protect both sides. Pride remains intact. Phones stay open. All right. 10th paragraph. No more silhouettes. Lights on. The name on Chicago's whiteboard is Devon Achane. Let's talk football before anything else. Achane gives you top gear acceleration that punishes poor angles and turns routine blocks into breakaway threats. He isn't just fast. He's efficient north-south in a blink, with enough balance to live through the first hit and enough vision to unlock cutbacks when edges over-pursue. Pair that with real route value, and you've got a back who doesn't tip the call sheet. Defenses must play honest on 2nd and 6, and that's when an offense starts feeling easy. Rotation, not revolution. Keep what's working. Let's speed change how it feels. You can roll pony personnel to keep base rules fuzzy. Motion the incumbent back out. Read the nickel's feet, then hand to Achane into a light box, or pull it, and throw the glance if the safety panics. In red zone, stack tight splits, orbit motion to tug the overhang, and slip the screen behind it. Same picture pre-snap, 3 answers post-snap. That's what a legit burner buys you. The threat is the play. Now the package. Responsible looks like this: a conditional day 2 pick in 2026. That escalates to a second if snap share and yardage thresholds are met and the Bears hit postseason benchmarks. Plus a late conditional in 2027 tied to team rushing efficiency. No blue chip 2025 picks outbound. No core starter leaving the building. You're paying for trait density at a position the league prices cautiously. With safeguards for both sides, how does Achane change the QB's week? Drive starters become friendlier. The second window on Dagger shows up sooner. Play action gains teeth because linebackers have to honor the mesh at full speed, not on autopilot. He also shortens games when Chicago leads 4-minute, becomes a dialogue between your line's will and his burst. That's one less high-stress throw per quarter. That's one more drive where your rookie plays point guard, not superhero, matchups. Against two high outfits that want to stay light, his one-cut burst forces safeties to flatten early, cracking the glance and the quick post. Against heavy front, squeeze, and spill teams, pony packages split the box and you choose violence. GH counter back to the weak side or quick out to move the sticks. In cold weather, when footing and willpower decide, that first step becomes a weapon nobody likes to tackle in the fourth. Risks tell them out loud. Roll clarity is non-negotiable. Touch management matters because burst is a resource you protect. The market can heat up if another contender loses a back and bids emotionally. And not every speed back thrives behind every front. Chicago will need to commit to the runs that marry with his pathing, not chase novelty. The answers live in coaching, not in slogans, timeline, and poker. Calls open with language, no numbers, only guardrails. If both sides see the world the same way, you sketch conditions and protections. If not, you hang up friends and keep your picks. But the Bears should be at that table because windows are earned by acting a week early. The worst case outcome is free. You learn the price of speed in this market, and you keep building. Bring it back to the building. This isn't about disrespecting anyone in the room. It's about making the room harder to defend. Tuesday blitz pickup gets sharper because a 4.3 threat forces edge players to treat every fake like it's real. Wednesday's inside run period gets louder because everyone knows an extra 2 inches of displacement turns into 6 points with this kind of back. Thursday's red zone script tightens because you can finally call the same look 3 ways and win all 3. Zoom out to January. Seeds are decided by tiny margins. One angle route that slips a tackle. One cutback punishes a greedy nickel. One screen that should die at 5 and lives at 25. Achane manufactures those outcomes. Stack a month of them, and you aren't just in the hunt. You're shaping who has to come to Soldier Field, not asking for directions to their place. Now, there's the other side of the coin. Would Miami even listen? Depends on their depth, their health, their view of replacement level, and their conviction about February. Smart teams don't donate speed. But smart teams also value picks when they believe their system will keep producing yards on the ground. You respect that. You price it fairly. You let the calendar push the decision. If the answer is no, Chicago still learned. If the answer is circle back after Sunday, you keep your prep tight. If the answer is yes, you walk, not run, to the dotted line with conditions, with clarity, with a plan for the first install. That's how grown organizations add a home run back without losing themselves. Bears fans, I want the room temperature. Would you flip a conditional day 2, pick escalators only if production and playoff snaps happen to add Devon Achane to this backfield? How would you split the touches? What packages would you call first? And which defense on the schedule does this break wide open? Drop your plan in the comments. I'm reading everyone. My personal opinion. The fit is obvious. The cost structured right is responsible, and the upside in cold games makes it worth exploring. But it's a scenario mapped with logic, not an announcement. This is speculation.